I've traveled all the way to the country of Cambodia, and here, in order to hire a chef, it costs only $1.
Today we're in the coastal province of Kep, taking on this country's shockingly affordable seafood.
How is it possible to cook food for $1?
But by the end of this video, we'll also try seafood prepared by Kep's most expensive chef.
If we're paying, you know, $30, $40, maybe $100 for a chef.
Maybe I charge you 180.
Ooh, I'm not sure that they can do 100 times better than what we see here.
Our mission begins with a quick breakfast in the seaside crab market, where a local vendor is making up some fish pancakes. First, the meticulous task of deboning these tiny fish. And if you're gonna live in Kep, then seafood handling skills like these are a must.
So Kep was actually back in the early 20th century, a place where the French elites and the Cambodian elites would actually come and vacation here because of the beautiful pristine beaches. So after the Khmer Rouge, it sort of died off a bit, but recently it's been gaining popularity again. Here you'll find a lot of local Khmer people coming not only to hang out at the ocean, but also to come to the Kep Crab Market, which is renowned for its fresh seafood.
Under the force of steady, sharp blades, the fish fillets turn into a fish paste. Getting ready for some seasoning.
This is actually called pahat, which means minced fish. They mash it up and they mix it with kroeung. This is probably one of the most popular fish treats or fish foods.
The flavorful fish paste is shaped into flat discs. Then bubbling oil turns them into appealing golden fish cakes.
Wow. It's interesting because that fish they start out with, very tiny. And I believe they fry those, but you know, it's gonna be a lot of bones. This is a way to get the most oomph out of such a small, bony fish.
That's right.
The flavor is almost kind of meaty. It's not especially fishy at all.
No, you don't taste the fish at all. It's actually got kind of a slightly sweet and a little bit salty, not too salty, and then a little bit of tiny spice to it.
I like it. Is this something that people would usually snack on alone?
No, typically this is eaten with rice. I wouldn't consider this a breakfast food. No, this is more something you would eat for lunch or dinner.
Savvy is a Khmer American blogger who brings Cambodian cuisine closer to the world through his YouTube channel. By the end of today, he and I will get a taste of Kep's most valued treasure, the blue crab. And I'm talking a lot of them. But before that, there's much more to discover at this seafood market.
One thing that's really special about this place is the fact that you can buy raw seafood and someone will cook it up for you for very little amounts of money. To get a meal cooked is as cheap as $1. Our next move from here is to tour the market, take a look at what they have to offer, find some raw food, and have it cooked up by a local.
Okay.
Inside the seafood market, you will not find exotic sea creatures imported from all corners of the globe. But what you will find is 100% locally caught, and that's why it's so cheap. The seafood cooking options are many. Stingray, crabs, both big and absolutely tiny, snails and blood cockles, and fish of all shapes and sizes. They also have some of the biggest shrimp I've ever seen.
They're like this big. That part, right there.
Some say they even taste like lobster.
Are these Cambodian shrimp special?
Yes, those come from the deep ocean, so they're much tastier, they're sweeter and more plump and bigger.
These are jumbo tiger prawns, inhabitants of the Indo-Pacific Ocean, known for their potential to grow up to 1 foot in length. Chef P here is about to turn them into a mouth-watering dish, and she'll perform this feat for only $1. Soon we'll discover how she manages to turn a profit at such a remarkably low price.
$1 is not a lot of cash, so how many meals are you able to crank out in one day?
She begins by cleaning the prawns, removing their heads and deveining them too. Next, she expertly stir-fries them with oil and garlic until the meat is perfectly firm. She adds a touch of ground pepper, her secret sauce, and she finishes with a handful of spring onions.
Oh man, this one's so big.
So I typically will rip the head off. There's like a lot of good stuff in there. Oh yeah, all that head fat.
That's pleasurable. The head is full of that head butter. It's a very rich flavor that comes from that melted down tamale, the organs that are inside the head. This one had a fat head. If I was a shrimp, oh man, there'd be a lot of head fat.
Then we move on to the body.
Oh my gosh.
But before that bite, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp.
Ah, the daily grind. Chasing deadlines, juggling responsibilities, and just trying to keep it all together. I've been there, but here's the thing. It is precisely during these times that having solid support is a non-negotiable. Taking care of your mental health and having regular check-ins. That is the secret weapon for tackling whatever life throws at you. And now, taking charge of your mental wellness has never been easier. It's as simple as signing up for BetterHelp. BetterHelp is your gateway to a network of licensed professionals professional therapists with a broad range of expertise, all dedicated to helping you on your mental health journey. Whether you're struggling with stress, anxiety, depression, or you just need someone to talk to, BetterHelp has you covered. Plus, getting started is really easy. Simply provide a few details about your needs and preferences and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist, often within 48 hours. The therapist they pick for you will already have experience in dealing with whatever it is you're going through. Every single one of their therapists is licensed, has a master's or doctorate degree, and has spent over 3 years and 1,000 hours working with people just like you. Visit BetterHelp.com/bestoverfood or choose Best Ever Food Review Show during sign up for a special discount on your first month of therapy. Also, BetterHelp is so committed to finding you great therapeutic matches that they will let you change your therapist if needed. So let's do it. Visit BetterHelp.com/bestoverfood and take your first step today. Now, back to the show.
Go.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's nice. You took the whole thing down. It's a 2-biter. If a shrimp requires 2 bites, it's basically a lobster at that point.
It does taste more similar to a lobster than a shrimp as far as the texture goes.
It's got a nice springy texture to it, super meaty. It's absolutely slathered in that sauce. It tastes faintly like a chili sauce mixed with a ketchup.
It's like a Cambodian sriracha. It's a little bit sweeter. It has a mild chili flavor.
But not really spicy.
No, not spicy at all.
It's certainly not a preparation I've seen anywhere else in Southeast Asia. This is very big, very plump, and very satisfying. But our other dish, the oysters. Now, ordinarily, I'm very excited to eat oysters. These I'm not super excited to try. I will tell you why soon. But first, let's talk about prices.
Now you might be wondering how P makes a living if she's selling scrumptious dishes like this for just $1. It all comes down to volume and speed. Customers present the seafood, and she works quickly to crank out a meal. Rinse and repeat up to several dozen times per day.
So each day she makes about 30 meals on average. So each day she makes about $30.
Well, we're about to get one more on the books. Let's do it.
As a side dish, how about something a little more daring?
Oysters are, you have to be careful. They have to be kept at not room temp. Here, they clean it off in warm water, put it in a plastic bag, then let it sit in the ambient heat, which is about 90 degrees. A lot of people eat these raw.
Yes, I had some last night.
That's like playing Russian roulette with your guts.
And you only live once.
And you only die once as well. These have been grilled for safety reasons. And then they put some stuff inside.
Basically, when they grill it, they baste it with kroeung, which is basically fish sauce, vinegar, sugar, garlic, and chili peppers. And then they top it with some fried shallots.
Oh, that sounds great. Should we try some? Cheers.
All right.
It tastes delicious. It's super savory. You can taste that fish sauce immediately, and then you get the amazing smell, texture, and taste of those fried shallots. It's like the best way to spice up your meal.
Honestly, I could eat a whole tray of these myself. Like, I love oysters. For me, it's the kroeung. That combination is very Cambodian. I haven't seen that sauce anywhere else, really. It just reminds me of like Cambodian seafood.
This was a great start to the day, but from here, we're gonna actually try to find the most premium seafood that they have in Kep. This is awesome. There must be 200 crabs in here. And after that, we're gonna find the most expensive chef and compare their food to this. But first, we have to get ourselves some crabs.
Just 100 yards away from the crab market, you'll find the pier from which the market sources most of its seafood.
It's still early enough in the morning that we get to see when the fishermen come in and offload their catch for the day. A lot of that includes fish, but it also includes the specialty of this region. I'm talking about the blue crab.
Each day, a fishing boat may reel in 20 to 30 pounds of blue crab, adding to the collective daily harvest of 5 tons along the entire Cambodian coastline. That is a lot of crab.
Around this time, the fishermen, they go out, they set their traps, and then early in the morning, they'll come back with the traps full of crabs, and then she comes. These ladies act as the salespeople for the wholesalers that come from the market. She works with one specific boat.
She must have a trusted relationship with that boat. They know how much crab they bring. She tries to sell them for the best price, and they kind of work together hand in hand.
That's exactly right.
What's interesting about this place is the fish, the seafood, it all comes in here before it heads to the nearby market, where we already were this morning. So if you take the extra work to come here, you can cut off all the people at the market and get the best dibs on the best quality product. That's what we plan to do today as well. Right here we have the famous Cambodian blue crabs.
These crustaceans are widely found in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, typically feeding on small fish and bivalves. However, in Kep, they feed on a particular seaweed, resulting in a meat so exceptionally sweet that even Phnom Penh residents are willing to journey 3 hours all the way here just for a bite.
What is the most prized part of the crab? What are people after here?
There's actually ones that have eggs that are more delicious.
Oh, I did see some of these had eggs on them. Let go of your friend. He ripped his friend's leg off. That's gonna be a discounted crab. So this is the most prized part of the crab right here. The males have more meat, but only the females have these big dollops of eggs.
That's right.
Ma'am, I would like to buy some of these crabs from you, and then I'm gonna take them to the most expensive chef I can find in Kep, and he's gonna cook them up. But first, we need some seasoning.
Let me guess, Kampot peppercorns.
Bingo.
Blue crab and Kampot pepper are a legendary duo along the southern coast of Cambodia, but the Kampot pepper alone is cherished by chefs all around the world. In fact, it's known as the champagne of pepper. But seriously, it's pepper. Could it really be that good? Well, we're about to find out at a pepper farm known as La Plantation. Here you can see tall pepper vines sprouting fragrant peppercorns. 300 employees. 20,000 pepper vines, 27 tons of annual product. These are the numbers earned by the owners, French-Belgian couple Natalie and Guy, after 13 years of operation.
Then in 2010, we got a PGI. PGI is Protected Geographical Indication. It's like champagne or camembert. You have to prove that it's a unique product that you can recognize among any product. And this marks, a special terroir for Kampot pepper because of the climate, because of the soil, and the sea is quite near from our plantation. When you will taste it, you will recognize that it's quite unique aromas.
Can we try some out?
Yeah.
How's this? Is it ripe enough?
This one is quite young, but taste it, you will see it's full of flavor.
Oh, it has a little bit of a peppery scent, even though it's just in its raw ball form. It's not ground or anything. Let's try it out. Oh, wow. Crunchy. I was not expecting that.
But because now it's still young, so the kernel inside, it's not totally formed. That's why it's very crunchy.
It tastes a little more grassy, but it's got that background pepper taste.
Wow.
It's kind of powerful. Hits you right in the back of the tongue.
I don't have the vocabulary for pepper. I'm sure there's like a whole set of vocabulary just for pepper, but I can say that it has, yeah, maybe a bit like that. Like I can taste it up through my nose.
Kind of like that wasabi sting.
Yeah, it goes just beyond like a mouth taste.
Kampot pepper is prized for its complex flavor profile, which features hints of eucalyptus, citrus, and mint. Depending on the processing method, these green peppercorns can become black, white, or red, resulting in distinct tastes and smells.
The question is, which pepper should we be using with the crab?
This one, the one you just tasted, the green one, and this one will pair perfectly with Kep crab.
Let's get that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Chef?
Yes.
Put her there.
Thank you. Welcome to Kep West.
Meet the most expensive chef in Kep. His name is Sok Hang.
We've been out hitting the countryside, getting you some fresh ingredients. Yeah. Take a look at these. We were speaking to the woman who worked at the boat pier.
He says that the ones that have eggs that are more delicious.
These eggs, not good quality. Make it heavy for their seller. They make you upgrade.
They can charge more, They can charge more. That's why.
A blue crab in this state, often referred to as a sponge crab, indicates she's nearing the end of pregnancy. By this time, her energy and nutrients have been diverted toward egg production, resulting in meat that is less flavorful and mushier compared to that of non-pregnant crabs.
It's like a sponge. Yeah. It's full of water. Yeah. It increases the mass, and then they can sell this for more money?
Yeah. A meal made of these spongy crabs is destined to be a complete disaster.
Would you give this to your guests here?
No.
No.
Never.
That is, unless you're hiring Kep's most expensive seafood specialist. Then the chances of calamity drop by at least 20%.
To hire you for a day to be a private chef, how much would that cost?
Maybe I charge you 180.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But it's 180 times the price of the other lady.
It's a lot different than $1.
I'm not saying you're not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm saying, let's find out.
Our $180 chef is cooking up 2 dishes, one with the sponge crab and another, better dish with the few good crabs that happen to be tossed in with the lot. Unlike the sponge crab, these female blue crabs still have eggs inside their apron.
How do I know if she has eggs on the inside?
You put it here, a lot of meat.
Then she's full of eggs.
Egg inside.
Their meat is sweeter and more flavorful, thanks to the nutrients stored in the eggs.
The lady by the boat, slightly less sophisticated when it came to judging eggs in general. I feel like I got bamboozled, a little bit taken advantage of, but I was uneducated, and now I'm slightly educated.
Next, our chef coats the crabs with a mixture of pepper, chicken powder, and flour. While the crab takes time absorbing those flavors, he deep fries a colorful batch of bell peppers, onions, and the compote green peppers. The fried wok says goodbye to the veggies and welcomes the floured crabs. Finally, the veggies and crabs are united under a shower of special Kep West sauce. The final touch of basil and coconut milk, and it's good to go.
I'll be coming up hot for a minute.
So I want to build up to the eggs inside the head. Should we start with the leg?
Sonny, I want to show you my technique. I like to pull this guy off. This is what I call the lollipop. This is the best part.
Cheers. Oh my Lord.
That sauce is amazing. It's
That is the best bite, I believe, in the entire crab. That is full of meat, and it's just been kissed by that sauce. The sauce is sticky, it's sweet, it's savory. It has such a wild, complex flavor to it.
I like to take a bite of the pepper before I take my next bite of crab meat.
Okay, yeah.
Give me a mouthful, and I'm going back in.
Man, that's good. The flavor is magnificent. Shamefully, I've never had the guts to just like eat the peppers off the peppercorn. I thought they already did their job of seasoning.
I believe a lot of that strong pepper flavor is lost from the stir frying, so you get a hit of it taking a bite directly.
Here we have the head. This is where we have the internal eggs rather than the external eggs.
So this is about 2-week-old eggs in there.
Cheers.
I can see why these are more desirable.
Very different flavor because those eggs have some oomph. They've got some personality.
A different texture than the meat, obviously.
Fattier texture. It's a bit briny, and it has some real like seafood flavor to it. A slightly fishy taste to it. What do you think about the chef's seasoning?
It's definitely a lot more complex than the $1 chef.
True.
There's a lot more depth.
It didn't come out of just like a generic plastic container that had a bunch of random store-bought sauces mixed together.
Right, it's very reminiscent of Indian curry, maybe because of the coconut milk.
Man, the balance between those fatty, briny eggs and then just the incredible flavors that you've imbued onto the dish. So good.
It's unbelievable.
But then here, you have something you would not typically use or serve to your guests. Here we have the crabs with the eggs on the outside of the body.
The spongy crabs start off with a similar treatment, but they begin to take shape with the chef's special black pepper sauce.
I have the tailbone of the carapace here. It's spongy, it's soft, it's strange. Oh, it's so funky.
Like, you know, like strand of form.
Yeah, there's a biological kind of a mesh that's holding all the eggs together in one sack. There's no way to even scoop it off. I think you just have to bite it off.
Right?
Huh. So, the texture, terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, but the sauce?
The sauce is so good. Oh my, I feel so mixed. I'm torn, I'm conflicted. The flavor is awesome, but then when you bite into it, it's hard to explain. It's almost like very, very thin bones or like very thin shell pieces that you can feel them kind of crunch as you bite down. It's like this weird mesh netting that holds all the eggs in place, and that's what you're trying to chew on. I think the lady down by the boat, unless she has some kind of special recipe, I believe she may have been incorrect.
Definitely.
I always encourage the supplier, the fisherman, don't take it, let it gone and make the baby away.
And that's something I wanted to ask you about. Clearly, when they're bringing in crabs, and many of them are full of eggs, that cannot be good for the sustainability of this profession. You know, when you have a crab with yellow eggs, that means in 6 to 7 days, they're gonna release. If they're darker, it means maybe within about 24 hours, they're gonna release, and those thousands of eggs have the potential to turn into new crabs that could be caught in the future. Are there any laws against keeping this crab?
But in a lot of cases, I believe people don't follow those laws.
Why do you think Cambodians here are not following these rules?
Some people, they need money, and the buyer like us, we don't know, we're going to release the baby soon, so we still buy. Lucky you bought this, nobody see you. Yeah.
Did we just break the law?
Yeah, apparently.
No, we don't know.
I guess one takeaway I have from this trip is going all around the countryside, there are more and more animals that are reducing in numbers, even tarantulas. The populations of tarantulas are dropping because of overhunting. Well, it's because people, they're not thinking about 5 years from now or 10 years from now, they're thinking about today. What is the best strategy to deal with this?
You need the people that are buying it to stop buying it, and also the government to step in as well. We're hopefully able to educate the younger generation that we need to think about the future because there's a lot more potential. But there won't be any potential if we take all the crabs out of the ocean.
If If you love Indian food, then you're gonna love our new channel, Best Ever Food India. Subscribe now for weekly videos, showcasing the most unique street food from around the country.
This is a type of rum made with kampot pepper. Have you had this before?
No.
I've never had it.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's extremely smooth.
It's really smooth.
Do you taste the kampot pepper?
Not that much.
No, you don't really taste the pepper.
I feel not pepper. Maybe I ate too much the pepper in the kitchen.
You overdosed on pepper. Can we use any of these?
You can use.
Do you prefer the female or the male?
For me, female.
Hey, me too, bro. Put it up there, yeah. I'm married to a lady. Yeah. Boom, guys, that is the end. Our final video here in Cambodia. Before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to this guy for joining me for 3/5 of this journey.
Thank you.
This is Savvy. Savvy you on YouTube. You can follow his journeys here in Cambodia as he explores food and culture and even more. Otherwise, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. Let's go this way. See this? These stairs? These stairs?
Up the stairs?
These stairs, they don't go anywhere.
They don't.
They just go up.
Just up?
And then you fall off.
That's it? Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's
I'm
go.
ready.
You can run. I'll get there eventually.